easily the most versatile thing that I have in my kitchen, homemade teriyaki sauce. It's not just the key to teriyaki chicken, but to hundreds and hundreds of other Japanese dishes. The one seasoning or sauce that I always keep in my kitchen is homemade teriyaki sauce. It is by far the most versatile thing that you can have if you're trying to make Japanese food. Of course, you've got teriyaki chicken, teriyaki fish, but you've also got that sauce as a base, as a gateway to things like buta shogayaki, ramen, even a shoyu ramen you can make with teriyaki sauce. When you make it yourself at home, it's hard to even explain how many possibilities there are with it. I'll show you how to make this, but stay tuned to this channel, subscribe if you want to, and follow this playlist because I'm going to show you dozens and dozens of dishes that you can make with your homemade teriyaki sauce. It could not be more simple. I say you can make this ahead of time, but you don't have to make it ahead of time because it is just a 5-minute process. Here's everything that you need for your homemade teriyaki sauce. Soy sauce. Use a good quality soy sauce. It doesn't have to be super expensive, but it does have to be naturally brewed. Cheaper soy sauces can be just made from, I guess, flavored water with a bit of MSG added. But if you can see on your label somewhere that says naturally brewed, I don't mind what brand you use, but as long as it's naturally brewed, you're gonna have a decent teriyaki sauce at the end of it. Next, sake and mirin. Again, I don't mind what brands you use, but with sake, people sometimes go and buy a really expensive drinking quality sake. Cooking sake is completely fine. You're looking at about $3, $4, maybe $5 for a bottle like this. So drinking sake can be anything up to $100. Obviously, you're not gonna be one to use that. Mirin's another Japanese rice wine. It's a slightly sweeter wine, and it's really used to add sweetness, but also to add gloss. So your teriyaki is gonna be nice and glossy, and that's really what teriyaki is. Teri means glazed or shiny, and yaki means grilled. So it's when you grill or fry something until it's glazed and shiny. And lastly, regular old sugar. Just good old table sugar. A couple of spoons of that. So I've got a pot to heat it up in, a bottle to keep it in, and a funnel to put it in the bottle. I'm only gonna use one measuring jug because if you do it in the order that I tell you, you won't have to use multiple and start washing it, and some scales as well. And the scales, to be honest, are kind of optional. I'll just bring that to 0. I want to start with about 60 grams of sugar. I'm using the dry ingredient first so it doesn't stick when I start to put the wet ingredients in there. About 60 of sugar, but you could really use as much or as little as you like. 60 is, I'd say, about the minimum you want, but 90 would be the maximum. So 60, 70, 80, 90, depending on your own individual taste, just into the bottom of our pot. Next, I'm pretty much done with the scales, so I'll just move those away. The liquid measures, 200 mils of sake, 200 mils of mirin, and lastly, 250 mils of soy sauce. Naturally brewed light soy sauce, if you want to call it that, but just definitely not dark soy sauce. Ordinary, regular old soy sauce. Now, I buy these in large quantities. You can obviously double or triple the recipe depending on how much you use, but I tend to make it always in this amount, even though I do use it quite often. And the reason I do that is because it fits inside a regular old wine bottle, or, this will make about 650 mils, so plenty of room to put it in an old wine bottle. You can just keep that in the pantry and use it whenever you want. So I've put that into the pot. I'm just gonna put that on the heat just for a little bit, not too much, stirring it to make sure the sugar's dissolved. I don't wanna bring it to the boil. I don't wanna cook off any of the alcohol. I just wanna dissolve the sugar and we're completely done. You can see they're just a couple of little sugar granules on the spoon. So just stirring this when you can see no more sugar granules on the spoon. We're done and we can take it off the heat. That really is all there is to it. It's just slightly warm, but enough to dissolve that sugar. And all I have to do now is stick that into a bottle and we're done. There it is, homemade teriyaki sauce. There's not much to look at now, but I can guarantee you just a couple of minutes making this once a month, once every 3 months, will open a whole new range of possibilities when it comes to Japanese food. Subscribe to this channel and specifically to this playlist as well, because on this playlist, I'm gonna be making a lot of different recipes that use this homemade teriyaki sauce to make just about anything you'd like in Japanese food.